It's time now for Down on the Corner with Dale Hoffman, North Central Arkansas's premier news talk program.
Good morning, North Central Arkansas, Southern Missouri. It is Tuesday, July 20th, 2021.
Good morning, good morning.
Hey, yeah, 7 a.m. How you been?
I'm very good, and you?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about this weather? Not bad at all.
I'll take it.
Little humid, but cool.
I can handle it.
You like the humidity?
I sat outside all day yesterday on the front porch working on my computer.
Really?
All day.
All day.
Mm-hmm.
What was wrong with your computer? You said you're working on it.
I was building a logo.
You were?
I've spent 15 hours on it so far.
How do you build a logo?
Through Illustrator and Adobe Systems.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
Piece by piece.
Really?
Depending on how intricate it is. It can take 30 minutes or 15 hours. And I'm still not done yet.
Think how busy you'd be without the computer.
Oh. Yeah, I couldn't draw it. There's no way. I need the computer.
Do you do any AutoCAD stuff?
No.
No, really? Really? So we're not going to see a new design car come out from David Stroud?
No. Which would be cool.
It would be, yeah. Well, good morning and welcome to Down on the Corner program. We're enjoying Brewed Awakening Coffee. You can do the same thing with 3 locations to serve you the best coffee in town. Bomber Boulevard, 62 East Plaza, and of course Baxter Regional Medical Center's main entrance lobby. Follow the COVID-19 guidelines there. If you don't have to go to the hospital, which we hope you don't have to.
Yes.
And then go to the drive-thrus at Bomber Boulevard and or 62 East Plaza.
Mm-hmm.
Mochas, lattes, frappuccinos. They've got pumpkin spice and French vanilla. They've got cinnamon rolls and muffins and scones and turnovers. What am I missing? I guess cinnamon rolls. They've got everything.
Right. And if you go enough times, they'll remember you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it makes you think that means the same employees continue to work there.
That's a good thing.
Right?
Yeah.
That means they're
I
happy.
can remember we talked about this throughout the last couple of days. Remember when Mike had the little coffee hut right there across from Flashbacks, right there on the curve on the highway. Now he's got 3 very good coffee bars, 2 drive-thrus, and of course one at the hospital. Just really, really nice. Anyway, Brewed Awakening Coffee is the best coffee in town. Did you try something? No. What are you drinking?
No, I'm drinking a pineapple bubbly. My wife buys them. They're very good.
You can mix it with Brewed Awakening.
I don't drink a lot of coffee during the summer.
You don't?
No, not when it's hot. As soon as it starts to fall hits and it starts to get cold, that's when I hit the coffee.
Yep. There you go. Yeah, it's about like me. Hey, check them out. Brewed Awakening Coffee. Mike and his staff is ready to serve you at the drive-thrus today and at Baxter Regional Medical Center. And be sure to check them out. Brewed Awakening Coffee, the best coffee in town. If you want some at your house, say, well, I really don't want to get out that early. We'll stop by and say, hey, can I get a half a pound or pound of beans ground up? And they'll put them in a bag for you, take them home. And you enjoy Brewed Awakening Coffee at home. And yeah, it's a little bit more expensive what you get than what you get for grocery store coffee.
Right.
Well worth the money.
Yeah,
yep.
Get what you pay for.
Yep. And so check them out. You know, they've got the drive-thrus. They're ready to go. It's 7:03 on this clock here. They're up and running, ready to serve you the best coffee in town. If you're not drinking Brewed Awakening, you're just drinking muddy water. I mean, Mike and his staff do a great job at all 3 locations. Like Mike says, we are real coffee.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when he places the order for coffee beans, it's, Juan Valdez brings that mule up, and there they are, you know.
Right through the drive-through window.
There you go. Check them out, Brewed Awakening Coffee. Once again, if you're not drinking Brewed Awakening, you're just drinking muddy water. Mike and his staff do a great job at all 3 locations to bring you the best coffee in town. Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas, bringing morning prayer each and every day with all the respect for Roller Funeral Homes. 29 in the state of Arkansas to serve you, with 1 in Memphis, Tennessee. Here in town, you talk to Brad, Bruce, Charlotte, Chris, anyone there can help you. And it's a tough time when you have to, I got to go to the funeral home, take care of whatever happened. You know, it could be a family member, loved one, friend, whatever it may be, and maybe pre-planning. But, you know, it's tough.
It's a tough situation.
I mean, they help you get through a bad situation. See, with all the respect on the screen, that's how they do business on a daily basis. With all the respect for Roller Funeral Homes, like I say, 29 in the state of Arkansas, 1 in West Tennessee. Roller Funeral Homes, with all our respect. Let's pause now for our morning prayer. Heavenly Father, 52 years ago today, the whole world watched as Neil Armstrong put the first footprint on the surface of the moon. Before that day, I remember my dad telling us of new innovations and inventions from the scientists working towards landing on the moon when Dad worked in the Mercury and Gemini projects. Even with the civil unrest of the 1960s and the Vietnam War protests, just for a few hours we were amazed, and we all watched as we watched on TV as things calmed down a bit across the world. But earlier I remember Apollo 8 at Christmas orbiting the moon, reading from Genesis, "In the beginning God created the heavens and the earth." Lord, no doubt your hand was in our space program in those days, and what a thrill it would be to see your creation from that vantage point. But as we look back, let us not forget that God is still in control and who created the heavens and the earth. It's my prayer today. Amen.
Amen.
Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas, bring the morning prayer each and every day with all respect. Roller Funeral Homes. Hey.
I know. It was awesome.
I didn't say that, did I say that?
You didn't have to. Read it on your face.
Trouble like that, but put a compressor limiter on that microphone. Keep you from blowing the VU meters out. Morning weather is brought to you by the Z-Team. Bob and Linda Zadora for all your real estate needs. 870-405-0793. The website retiretoarkansas.net. Realtors you'd recommend to a friend. Take a look at the White River. Hey, some fog on the river today.
I like it.
Wow.
It's really cool.
Beautiful clear sky though, but ground fog right there in the river. But the bridge, you can see the bridge, the 62-412 bridge, left side of the screen. And a little bit of fog in the city of Cotter this morning on the Baxter County side of the river. The camera's in Marion County. And of course, you're looking across the river into Baxter County. Can't quite see the little baseball park this morning due to the fog, but what a beautiful, beautiful sunrise this morning. You can look at this all throughout the day. You go to retiretoarkansas.net, pull up the live webcam, and at the lower right-hand side of the screen, you see a little camera icon where you can click on that and you can save the picture, send it to family, friends, or loved ones, or just use it as a screensaver or backdrop. While you're at retiretoarkansas.net, be sure to check out all the listings with the Z-Team, Bob and Linda Zadora, both in Arkansas and Missouri. They are ready to serve you in both states, from Gainesville, Missouri, up to Mountain View, Missouri, back down to Mountain View, Arkansas, back over to Marshall, and all points in between. Check them out, retiretoarkansas.net.
Yes,
they
sir.
have won the most prestigious award in the Century 21 Corporation 2 years in a row.
Right. They don't play around.
I mean, 2 years in a row. Some people have never even seen the award. They've got two of them back to back. You know, that's pretty cool. For outstanding service after the sale, how they treat their customers. And I tell you what, it's just, you want the award-winning Z-Team on your side, give them a call, 870-405-0793, retiretoarkansas.net. And wow, he was here, what, was it yesterday we did the report? There's they moved $6 million, or not the Z-Team, but the MLS area moved $6 million again in real estate.
Mm-hmm. In a week.
In a week. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been like $6 million, $9 million, $7 million. You know, it's just, stuff is crazy.
Yeah, market's hot.
It really is. Check out the Z-Team, Bob and Linda Zadora, for all your real estate needs. 870-405-0793, retiretoarkansas.net. Realtors you'd recommend to a friend, Bob and Linda Zadora. Morning weather brought to you by the Z-Team for all your real estate needs. Right now, it's only 67 outside here in Mountain Home, 64 at Harrison, Batesville at 69, same in Yellville. 68 at Marshall, 65 at Salem, Mountain View at 68, 65 at West Plains, Springfield, Missouri 65, Poplar Bluff at 69, St. Louis at 67. What? Look at this.
I know, I saw that.
Watford City, North Dakota, put it in contrast, 72? Are you kidding me? I mean, I've seen us at 52 and them at minus 40 up there.
Right.
You know, my goodness, 72 at Watford City, North Dakota this morning. That's to put things in contrast, because most generally it's just freezing cold up there. My goodness, 72 in Watford City, North Dakota. Wow, look at that. On the national radar, just scattered showers kind of on the perimeter of the United States, on the Canadian border, down the Gulf of Mexico, and then on the border of Mexico and Arizona. I mean, from northern Nevada into Oregon, Idaho, Montana, North Dakota, Minnesota, and then up in the northern part of Michigan. Then we do have some shower activity in Tennessee, down around Atlanta, Columbia, South Carolina, and then on the Gulf Coast. Nothing real, there's no heavy storms or anything, just summertime showers. Then you look at Arkansas, see what we got. Picking up some light showers to the west of Arkadelphia, a little bit to the northeast of Little Rock. Excuse me, I doubt that these are actually hitting the ground, so I'm going to say overall everything is clear. Highway 62, 412 east and west of Mountain Home, Highway 65 to Branson, Little Rock, Searcy, Batesville, Pocahontas, Highway 67, 167 in good shape there. Interstates 30, 40, 49, 55, 555, 530 in Arkansas, looks like it's in good shape. Interstate 155 to Dyersburg from Kennett, Missouri, looks good. Shower activity on I-40 to the east of Jackson, Lexington, Tennessee on 412, northeast Mississippi around Corinth and New Albany with some shower activity there. State of Missouri, Poplar Bluff, Missouri, 67 north from Poplar Bluff to St. Louis in good shape, no showers there. Little bit of a shower to the east of Pittsburgh, Kansas on the Missouri side of the line. It's not even affecting I-49. Nothing on I-44, 70, 35, or 29, or I-55 going into St. Louis, southern Illinois, East St. Louis, Illinois, east on 64, and I-57 south towards Carroll, Illinois, with no showers in southern Illinois right now. Not bad. Pretty day across the Midwest.
Yep. I think I'll be on the front porch again today.
There you go. Getting that design done. Nothing in Missouri, Arkansas, or Illinois. We have a flood watch box along the Alabama-Tennessee line and Georgia to South Carolina with a flood watch box there. Nothing really serious, but just some flash flood watches there. Sunny today, tomorrow and parts of Thursday. We're looking at about 88 degrees today, 87 on Wednesday, 88 on Thursday, Friday 90, 93 on Saturday. A little bit of a warming trend coming through for next week. Checking I-Drive, Arkansas. Everything seems to be going well. We're still waiting for the I-40 bridge to be reopened after that crack in its structure. Traffic moving good in Memphis, West Memphis, Little Rock, Conway, Texarkana, Fayetteville to Fort Smith, Bentonville, Rogers, Springdale, up in Jonesboro area as well.
Well, that was supposed to be fixed by September?
They were hoping late July to mid-August. Okay. I think somebody talked to Senator Tom Cotton, and they were trying to make sure it's done right, but get it done rapidly to get that back open, you know.
That'd be good.
Taking a look at Mountain Home, looking at Cardinal Drive East, you see Century 21 Lemac Real Estate here, and the new slot skis right here. Some folks coming up to the light right there with minimal traffic in Mountain Home at Cardinal Drive at 62 412 East, Highway 5 North.
Those are really good cameras.
You like those?
Isn't that something?
Not bad. Highway 5 North at 201, 62 412B. People heading to work, Baxter Regional Medical Center, Baxter Lab. You see the Exxon station there. Traffic moving pretty freely right now through the light. And, of course, the road construction on Highway 5 North to the state line continues, so give RDOT a break. Drive slow, be careful. And they're working hard to get it done. They're doing a pretty good job getting that stuff taken care of. My favorite shot is, of course, Club Boulevard looking down the hill. You see Baxter Regional Medical Center along the mountains here. And minimal traffic here. Clay Maxey Chevrolet here on the right-hand side as you go into the city. And just very minimal traffic on that side of town this morning. Yeah. Not bad at all. Okay, Missouri. See what Missouri's got going on here. The flood watch boxes have been removed. Of course, no rain. There are some maintenance things going on throughout the county roads, state highways, and some of the federal highways in Missouri, and some road construction. So plan your route accordingly there by going to MoDOT and checking it out. Norfolk Lake at 568.63 at 16.6 feet above 552. The full pool, Bull Shoals at 684.49, 25.5 feet above the full pool of 659. Allergy index today 4, tomorrow 4.1 with grasses, plankton, and nettle the culprits. Crude oil prices up a little bit at 66.63. It must have crashed yesterday at that stock market because it come down from about 71, 72, $73 a barrel. Yep. Now it's 66.63 because the market dropped 726 points yesterday, following a 200-point drop the day before, or on Friday, closing at 33,962.04. Sting!
Right. I don't play in the stock market.
Hey, don't forget about the Dream Network. My friend Marla Lucas is the CEO. They help women and children in desperate situations. Our vision is to be a voice for children, connecting them with resources to help them realize their gifts and pursue their God-given dreams. And every child deserves a dream, and to provide love, support, and necessities to children in need. They help the family with some air conditioning up there and some odds and ends. Ever so often hear from Marla and say, we helped here and helped there, and they're doing a great job. Southwest Missouri, Northwest Arkansas, and of course she's with KADI 99.5 in Springfield. If you can donate to the Dream Network, you go to the donate button by going to dreamnetwork.org, hit the donate button. $5, $10, $15, $20 or more really, really helps. So check out the dreamnetwork.org. I got it in under 15 minutes. You got anything going on?
Nope,
not much going on. I told Keith Sharp on Sunday evenings we got Search the Scriptures, and coming up the second weekend in August, I think it's 5 and 6. Let me see my calendar real quick. Fighting the clock. I think it's August 6th and 7th and 8th, they've got a gospel singing coming up, a hymn sing at the Highway 5 South Church of Christ.
Very nice.
We'll promote it more next week as it gets closer to the event. I don't want people forgetting about it, so be sure to take advantage of that situation. 7:15, we'll be right back after the break.
Taste. And at Brick Oven Pizza Company in Mountain Home, delicious taste is all you will find. Enjoy signature crafted pizzas and appetizers, as well as oven-baked sandwiches, quesadillas, salads, pastas, and desserts. When it comes time to relax or meet up with friends, Brick Oven Pizza has you covered. Handmade cocktails and ice-cold beer are always available at their fully stocked bar. No time to dine in? No problem. Call in your order and use Brick Oven's convenient drive-thru window for all your to-go orders. It's a matter of taste at Brick Oven Pizza Company in Mountain Home. Get the only mower with suspension technology at Mower Warehouse in Mountain Home, where they accept mower trade-ins, have flexible financing options, and services all brands and models. That's Mower Warehouse, located on Buzzard Roost in Mountain Home.
When I grow up, I want to save lives, like a superhero, and show up when people needed me.
When I grow up, I want to do animations. I want to create characters that can fly.
No matter what it is you want out of life, there is a path to get there.
When I grow up, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up, but I know I want to go to college.
Arkansas State University Mountain Home. Take your first step at asumh.edu.
Hi, it's Bob Zadora of the Z-Team at Century 21 Lemac Realty, 1024 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. As you know, we are all facing some unusual times. Be calm. Be smart. The business world of real estate will continue. We may have some delays and some changes that are out of our control, but life will go on, and this too will pass. Give thanks for this wonderful country that we live in. Give thanks for the neighbors that we share. If there's anything we can do to give you a hand, give us a call, 870-405-0793, and check out our website, retiredoarkansas.net.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detail services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
So there I was, naked as a jaybird in the shower with soap in my hair and eyes when I lost water pressure down to a dribble. I immediately grabbed my towel and dialed up Jake at JM Sales and Pump Service. Jake came right over and fixed my water pressure. Now I can take my showers with confidence. Just call Jake.
For all your sales and pump needs, just call Jake at JM Sales and Pump Service, 870-431-5445. He offers high-quality stay-right product.
At Connor
7:18, we want to welcome Debbie Mize and Jessica Wade. Debbie, of course, is the program director for Child Care Aware from Batesville, Arkansas. Welcome. Oh, Greg, you might pull up just a little bit there. I forgot to reset. There you go. Yeah.
Thank you. We're so happy to be here.
It's always good to have you all up. Yeah.
Love coming. Love coming.
So Jessica's here. Hello, hello.
Hey, how are you? Jessica is our training coordinator. And we came up yesterday and visited a child care too. And
The library.
And the library, yes. We have a beautiful partnership with the library here. They house curriculum for the child care programs to use. And they can check it out.
Boy, that's handy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is, because to be quality, they're required to have some sort of curriculum. And we've furnished a whole set of infant and toddler and preschool curriculum for anyone that is a licensed child care facility is welcome to check it out at the local library. So please take advantage of that. We would love to grow that and have more there. The library, like I said, has been a beautiful partnership for us, and we really appreciate them. And beautiful library.
You love that? Isn't that nice?
Oh, yeah, wow. It is. One of the best in the area, I'm telling you. It's fantastic.
Very proud of that one.
I want to say a little bit about what Child Care Aware is. We're a resource and referral agency serving 14 counties in Northcentral Arkansas. Our home office is in Batesville, and we have a satellite office in Conway. Both offices operate a resource lending library. So any child care provider can come and check things out, and we have thousands upon thousands of items that you all can check out from either of those lending libraries. We also do a lot of professional development for early care educators, and we give a lot of support and technical assistance out there as well. But today what we want to talk about, Dale, is kindergarten readiness. With school coming up, that's on a lot of people's minds. A lot of mamas are going to be crying here pretty soon. Those babies go to kindergarten. But we are looking at...
They don't all cry.
Well,
some of them jump up and down in the parking lot.
Maybe. I cried with all four of mine, though. But we're looking at what can we do pre-kindergarten to get those kids ready. So we're looking at, there's a kindergarten readiness checklist, and I think you guys have it. And
you know, I want to bring this up. I remember, of course, I went to first grade in 1964. That's a long time ago. We didn't have kindergarten.
No, I didn't go to kindergarten either.
You know, and to think now that some of the kids can actually read going into first grade, where we were just like, first grade was just like, I mean,
yeah.
So this is a great thing. Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, it's just to give, and parents need to have this checklist, and actually it is required for all child care to make this available to parents, the kindergarten ready checklist, so that you're looking at it and you're working to build those skills in the children. And that's what Jessica is going to really focus on and talk about today, because she is our content specialist with our training, and she's developed a new training for kindergarten readiness, and I'm going to turn it over to her, and she's going to talk about the importance of kindergarten readiness and how using that along with the Arkansas Early Learning Standards we can strengthen and build the skills that the children need to be ready to learn as when they do enter kindergarten. Jessica, over to you.
The kindergarten readiness checklist is actually pretty comprehensive. It has 9 different domains, and if you look through it, some of them you're looking at social studies. Why are we teaching social studies in preschool? Well, we're teaching social studies in preschool because you have kids that need to know their name. They need to know how old they are. They need to know family members' names. But not only that, they need to know, well, that's my aunt or that's my uncle, because I mean, it doesn't happen as often as it used to, I suppose, but I remember when I was a kid, I'd get separated from my parents in Walmart. Hiding in a clothes rack or whatever the case may be. I was that kid. But I would get, I'd get separated. But you don't think about, if my child doesn't know who they are, who they're related to, how are they going to help get back to me? So we've got some of these social studies things that we want to teach them. Of course, we're going to work on art, and we're going to do math and science. But what about literacy? You brought up a good point about being able to read, some of these kids going into first grade. And the foundations of those things are what we're teaching in preschool. We're not teaching them to read.
Right.
We're teaching them foundational skills. And the whole premise of the kindergarten readiness training is to be more intentional. We want our teachers to understand why they're doing it, how to do it, and how to incorporate those things into your everyday classroom. Because a lot of teachers, they know, okay, well, I know I have to teach my ABCs, but it's not just, let me sit here at the carpet, A, B, C, D. No, that's not. They learn through play. We've got to incorporate this in our play. We have to do this in our centers. We have to do this when we're talking about that big cat that we're talking about in the science center. Well, let's also talk about what rhymes with cat. Play my word game with me. And get some of those phonemic awareness skills in, too.
Do they teach phonics and the sounds of letters that early?
I did when I taught preschool.
Did you?
But I had 3-year-olds. I didn't even teach 4s and 5s. I had 3-year-olds.
Really?
And we worked on it because it wasn't a check mark on my box, they have to know their sounds and things. It was simply, let's get them familiar with it. Let's make sure they have an awareness of those sounds and an awareness of the different sounds that they're gonna hear in words.
I think it's part of language development.
Yeah.
Just using that. And some of the preschools, too, are now incorporating a phonetic curriculum. So
that's what we were
trying to strengthen it.
And what comes to mind, we spell cat C-A-T, but you could spell it K-A-T because it sounds alike,
Yeah.
But then you put the H behind the C, C for cat or CH for church or chapel or something like that, and that's how we learned by phonics back in the day.
And I want to touch back just a second on something Jessica said about the why. If we understand the why behind something, and it's not just a task anymore, you understand the philosophy behind it and how it works and how it's the foundational building blocks to go forward. And I think instead of just, when we're told why we're doing something, it just strengthens our resolve to want to be successful at it, I think. And I think that's part of the reason that we created this series of trainings was, well, yes, we're doing this, but here's why we're doing it, because we want the kids to be successful and gain these skills. And this is what, this is tips and resources to how that's going to happen for you. And I'm a big proponent of understanding the why, because then it just makes everybody more successful.
Wow.
I think
you were talking about being the kid that got lost at the store, getting the dress wraps. Dad taught us years ago to memorize the license. Of course, back then you didn't have cell phones or anything like that. Remember the license plate on the car. He taught us. Okay, our license plate is EB1234. Memorize. And back then it changed every year because you used to unbolt the license plate, put a new one on in Illinois, and because if you got lost, well, my dad's car is blah, 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 and it's EB1234. They can run that. The state police or local police could run that, and you could find a contact person.
It's a really good idea, too.
I mean, and in Arkansas, you get the same plate for at least 8 years,
right.
Memorize it.
That is a really good idea. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah. That gets that contact point.
Interesting. Going to be adding that one in. That's handy. Yeah.
Well, when you think about it, though, right now, I think Arkansas just now changing the license plate. We've been 3 digits and 3 letters. Now we're 3 digits and 2 letters and another number or something like that. They're changing around because they've had the same pattern for about 50, 60 years. But I mean, how hard was it? 1, 2, 3, ABC on the license plate, for years and years.
I couldn't tell you mine today.
I couldn't tell you mine either.
I don't know it.
Dang bad. I'm so disappointed.
I wasn't going to say that, but then you did. So I was like, I can say it now.
Mine's all letters. I got the Arkansas Game and Fish tag. It's like BFX something.
So yours is only 4.
Mm-hmm.
Is it 4?
4 letters, for Game and Fish.
It's much easier to remember.
That's great.
Oh, well.
But in I think 2016, Arkansas partnered with other large universities to look at, we had people from Yale University, different places come in and look at the learning standards that we had with those, at that time was called Arkansas Frameworks. And they went with the new research. Of course, every year, we gain new knowledge, and came up with the Arkansas Early Learning Standards. And we have there's infant and toddler, and then there's preschool early learning standards. And they're just absolutely wonderful resource. We teach that, but it gives the providers a look at age-appropriate developmental skills that each age group needs, whether it's infant all the way through to, it goes all the way through
60 months.
60 months, yeah. 5.
And what is so helpful about that is the way they've set up the early learning standards is it's on a continuum. It's not infant and toddler over here and preschool over here where you have it, segregated. No, it's on a continuum, so you can actually see and track, okay, we're here, we're not quite here yet, where are we age-wise as far as what's expected? Now, that's not a set in stone, we all have to be there. It's what it's expected. So the continuum is really helpful for our teachers who are new to the field, new to early childhood ed, and learning how to manage some of these skills that they're trying to teach, because they can see, okay, we can't do this skill. Well, what was before it? What skill might we be missing? So they can go back and look and say, oh, okay, so we need to strengthen this, and then maybe we can move on.
Yeah.
So I really like the layout of them personally.
I think it's fabulous. It's so beneficial. So beneficial.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm looking at some of the stuff here, like button zips, laces, so button your shirt, zip the breeches, tie your shoes.
Yeah.
Catches a ball with both hands, tosses the ball. Tell me when we need to put this on the screen. I've got this ready to go for people to read it when we're ready for it, but boy, I forgot a lot of this stuff.
You forgot how to catch a ball with both hands?
You set yourself up on that.
Do I wear a helmet? Yeah, I did, didn't I? Don't give them don't give them any ideas, Dave.
We love you, Dave.
But yeah, I mean,
But you don't realize these are skills that some of our kids go to kindergarten without having.
Are you kidding?
Yeah. They do. They go to kindergarten without having some of these skills.
Catches the ball with both hands, tosses the throws ball, kicks, moving. Well, yeah, we used to do all that stuff.
Yeah. But you think about, the way preschools have become structured, there's not a lot of kids just running around free play. They need that. That's how they learn these things. I mean, how did you learn to kick a ball? Running around kicking one, right?
Sure, yeah.
Well, we've had things over the years that have happened safety wise, and so there's some of these things we have to be a little more cautious with. Fine motor skills. When you were 4 or 5, you probably got to play with a hammer and nails, and when Dad was out working, would you give a child a hammer and a nail now?
I would, yeah.
I would, but you can't do that in preschool. You can't always foster some of these skills the same way, simply because there have been issues in the past that are safety concerns. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just that we have to find other ways to teach some of the fine motor skills and other ways to teach these different things that are safer for having a group of 20 kids running around with hammers is not a good idea.
Well, yeah, true.
So you have to find a better way to do it.
Give them a ball peen and not a claw hammer. Seriously though, I was 7 years old, and I'll never forget. It was a Saturday afternoon. We were out just having fun, Southern Illinois, nice warm day. Dad says, "Dale, come here." So I went in. We had a long driveway. The car was up on blocks, and he says, "See that right there? Yeah, that's the oil pan." He says, "I want you to find the wrench that fits that nut right there and pull that out." I was 7 years old. So I come out with a 7/8 boxed in wrench, and it took everything I could laying on my back underneath that car with a big 383 V8 above me and pull the oil plug at 7 years old.
And you remember that. The hands-on experience that you gained from that has stuck with you all these years.
Yeah.
So that's an excellent lead-in. We have an activity for you in a minute.
Oh, so shall we take a break and prepare for that?
I think that'll be excellent.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Family Funeral Home, our goal is to provide our friends and neighbors with caring, compassionate services at an affordable price. Connor Family is a full-service funeral home that offers a wide range of services to meet your family's needs and customs. We are the first on-site crematory in the area and provide many options to memorialize your loved ones and address all the details for a more personalized service. Where compassion and affordability meet, Connor Family Funeral Home in Mountain Home.
Take a step back in time when going to a barbershop meant more than just getting a haircut. Come into Legionnaire Barbershop today, a unique gentleman's barbershop. Get back in style with experienced licensed barbers who are trained in tonsorial arts and lock removal and are happy to give you a straight razor shave. Legionnaire Barbershop is veteran-owned and operated and located at 1041 Highland Circle, Suite 55 in Mountain Home. For a full, old-fashioned barbershop experience, stop by Legionnaire Barbershop today.
When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, it's our desire that you think about finding a way to live your life to the fullest while living with a serious illness. If you ever need help and support, we provide a team of healthcare professionals and volunteers that will support your physical, emotional, and spiritual aspects of life while doing the same for your family and caregivers in the comfort of your own home or wherever you call home. When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, we hope that you grant us permission to walk on the journey with you. Your not-for-profit option since 1979.
When you're out of town, make sure your pet is with someone who will love them as much as you do. At 201 Pet Salon and Resort, your pet is cared for just as they would be at home. 201 Pet Salon and Resort is the only all-suite climate-controlled and air-filtered boarding facility in the area with private and spacious rooms to keep your pet relaxed. And with over 3/4 of an acre of fenced play area, your pet will receive the proper exercise they deserve. 201 also offers professional grooming services. Your best friend is in good hands at 201 Pet Salon and Resort in Mountain Home.
At Letty's Mexican Restaurant, we are here to keep you safe during these difficult times, as well as serve you the best Mexican food in the area. That's why we've installed a convenient pickup window for all your to-go and pickup orders, as well as a covered outdoor seating area. Give us a call at 870-435-2532 to order your next meal. And don't forget, Letty's also provides catering for small parties or big events. Experience the best in Mexican cuisine. Letty's in Gassville.
And we are back. I've had it now. Right. Okay, what are we doing?
So what I want you to do is, and I don't care if you draw stick figures, it makes me no difference what you draw. I want you to draw on that piece of paper for a few seconds, draw something, and think about how it feels while you're up there drawing.
Just draw like triangles or circles?
Yeah, whatever you want to draw. You can draw stick figure people, houses, I don't care.
And whatever. I'm such the artist here.
It'll be perfect no matter what you do, it'll be perfect.
And let's see, stop sign perhaps, how many signs they got on there, is that right?
I don't know. You're supposed to do something with those?
1, 2, 3, 4, what else do I need here?
Draw something big.
How about a plus sign big?
Something big, cross all paper.
Let's see, you used to be able to draw a house. How did we do that? Like this, here, the roof, like that?
Yeah.
Put a door, window.
Excellent. Okay.
Now what?
That'll work.
Okay.
All right. So now we're going to do the other one, and what we're going to do is we're going to contrast the two activities.
So I need back over
you
here?
You have to come sit, and I'm going to let you do the sitting part of the activity, and then I'm going to quiz you.
Good luck, Dale.
Well, the good news is there's no right or wrong answer, so.
Right.
But we're illustrating a point. We're going to illustrate a point. Okay.
Okay.
Here's you some paper and different markers. And just...
Let me mute this mic real quick so we don't...
Oh, no. We don't want to do that.
Double feed.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
Double feed there. Okay. Phasing issues are wonderful. Okay.
And then you can just draw whatever you want on that paper, like you would normally draw.
Draw anything on that paper?
Yeah.
Nobody's... Any particular color?
No, I don't. Whatever color you want.
What do I draw? David, give me an idea.
What are you always talking about?
How about a car?
There you go. Or an engine.
Or
struts.
Or stereo.
Tie rods. Yeah. Stereo.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the music man, too.
Yeah.
There's a very crude car.
Okay.
Turntable.
All right.
There. Tone arm. Speed switch. On and off switch.
Excellent.
The spindle for the hole in the record.
Okay, so... The difference, perfect. So what did you notice about drawing over here compared to this?
I was more at ease sitting down here instead of standing up.
Okay. How often do you draw standing up?
Very first time and
say almost never. Right?
Never.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
So one of the things in our creativity module is we talk about giving children alternatives for drawing, because how often do we sit them down at a table and they're drawing just like this? Their hand, their arm, everything is resting on that table, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're talking about a 4 or 5-year-old who not only is having to think so hard about how do I draw this square, what parts go to a square, okay, I have to have a line down here, and then my line has to go over and up and then back over. Not only are they having to process the parts to that square, but they're also having to process, how do I move my arm across this table and get this marker to do what I want it to do?
Is this a fine motor skill?
Yeah. It's a fine motor skill, but it's also a creativity skill, because you throw on some classical music and you hand them some paper on a wall and crayons, just sit back and let them go to it.
Is that right?
But the difference is when you are doing vertical art, your arm is free to move. So when we're teaching our kids how to draw circles, how to draw triangles, how to draw squares, if we allow them that free arm movement by letting them draw on the wall or, heaven forbid, tape it to the underneath side of a table and let them lay down and draw, they don't have to think about moving that arm anymore. That's one thought process, cognitive skill they don't have to worry about. All they're focused on is, how do I make this shape? How do I make that marker do what I want? Because they don't have to worry about dragging their arm across the table or picking it up from here to this side of the paper. They don't have, it's so much simpler for them because it takes out an entire process that they're not thinking about.
And the freedom of the movement.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
The freedom of the movement.
Well, yeah, like when I do the so-called house up here, just,
Right.
yeah.
It's a beautiful house, Dale.
It's perfect. It's perfect. But when we think about teaching these skills, we don't think about, not only are we having to teach them how to draw that shape or that person or cat, whatever they're drawing, they aren't to their brains aren't to the process where they can fluidly move across different surfaces. They're also having to attend to, how do I move my arm appropriately on this paper?
So actually the drag of the arm is
distracting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I never thought of it that way.
Didn't either.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't either.
So part of my
part of the why.
Yeah, part of the why. Why do we let them stand up and draw? Why would you tape paper to the bottom of your table and let them draw? Because it reduces that. Yeah. So now that you know that, it makes that seem a little different, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one of our built-in activities to our kindergarten readiness stuff. So those are the things we're trying to teach our teachers is to think about, why would I do this? Why is it helpful? How do I come up with a more engaging way to teach these? Because the kids don't know you're teaching them how to draw more efficiently. They don't care. It's something new and fun and exciting. I am drawing on the wall, on paper that's taped to the wall. I'm drawing under my table. Mommy, I went home and drew under the table. And Mom's going to go,
what?
You did what? Miss So-and-so taped paper under our table and we got to lay down on our pillows and draw. Well, that's kind of cool.
So I'm sitting here thinking, some of the toys we had in the 60s was Lincoln Logs and Tinker Toys.
They're amazing.
You know, Lincoln Log, you start out with the singles and you had the doubles, the triples, and the quadruples and on. You know, you could build log cabins. And I've still got all of the stuff from years gone by, and Tinker Toys. So the imaginary skills of design, question mark?
Did you know that they're having to teach imaginative thinking? There's therapy to get kids to ignite their imaginations?
I did not know that.
Yes,
Really?
because when so many of them are just iPad, phone.
True.
They don't know how to play.
Three-dimensional.
No. And in two-dimensional learning, you don't learn.
Yeah.
You don't truly learn.
And then here's something else. We used to go in the wintertime, we'd go to one of the local stores, and you had the plastic models. Okay, you pick a car. Okay, my dad had a 57 Plymouth, so I'd buy a 57 Plymouth. We'd go home and we'd paint it. We'd put the engine together, put the wheels on it, the doors and the little glass, and we'd build the car. You don't see that stuff going on anymore.
What was happening when you were doing that?
Were you doing it by yourself or with your dad?
By myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of thought processes? I mean, were you having to think through that, right? Problem solve, how to put these pieces together?
That, plus trying to keep my finger out of the glue so it wouldn't look stupid, you know.
Yeah.
But there again, my thought was because the real car is sitting outside.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, oh, that's where that goes.
Yeah. So you're making connections between what you're doing and the real world and how that can apply.
So
but
we
you're
had
also
airplanes, we had cars, we even had a Mercury Gemini spacecraft in the day.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Hobby Lobby still sells some of those things.
Yeah.
I love that story.
I worked on, the last one I did was about 15 years ago, and it was a Chrysler 300C, and the logo was about the size, about twice the size of that part, and it has to be red, white, and blue with 300C painted, and you do it with a toothpick. And sometimes you take sandpaper, you roll your toothpick around to get it sharp enough to
See,
put
your
the...
fine motor skills.
Yeah.
We're so developed for that.
You think about how many or how much of your attention it takes to take a toothpick, dip it in paint, and then actually draw something intentional with that. For our little kids, our 3s, 4s, and 5s, some of them struggle to just get the paintbrush in the paint jar.
Say that again?
Yes, they struggle to take the paintbrush, and we're talking a paintbrush this size, a big paintbrush. They struggle to put it in the jar because they don't have the coordination and the fine motor skills because they haven't practiced that. They haven't worked at it.
You are kidding me.
No. That's part of this whole thing that we're doing is we want our teachers to be more intentional and to understand.
So what happens with that skill if it's underdeveloped and they have to paint a house for Pete's sake and put a 3-inch brush in a can of paint?
Well, then...
Hello, McFly, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're pouring that can probably into a larger container to make that easier. They've learned how to accommodate for that. So they pour it into something bigger so that they don't have to struggle with getting it in there.
How about that?
Wow.
But going back to our preschools, we're laying those foundations for those skills. Yeah. And the whole premise we're talking about today is giving the teachers the why. Why are we doing this? Why are we incorporating these things, these activities? They're all skill building for lifelong skills.
Yeah.
Let me tell a quick story before we take a break. Back in the mid to early 80s, my dad was down here building houses, and there was a house built east of town, almost to the river. And the family that bought this house, real big house on the river, and the man walked up and says, "Can I ask you a question?" The house was finished, and Dad was doing PR work and finishing up and just, the finishing touches. And guy says, "Please understand my question." And Dad says, "What?" He says, "Can you show me how to use this?" And he handed him a standard straight blade Craftsman screwdriver. And Dad looked at him and says, "Really?" He says, "Please understand." He says, "All my life, I've lived in the penthouses of New York. You write your check for maintenance, you write your check for rent or whatever. The light bulb in the lamp, you press the button. We have a lamp bulb that's out on the end table, will be right up. The elevator comes up, the guy comes in, he changes the bulb, he goes on. You never touch the stuff. Light switch, light bulbs, faucet, like whatever it is." Now he's on his own. The importance of just simple tools. You've got the little plastic workbenches with the wide little screw where you put the screwdriver in and turn it and it'll go down and it'll come back up, or a little wrench. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But literally there's people that don't know how to do that stuff.
And there's kids who go to kindergarten and can't hold a pencil.
You're kidding.
Oh, yeah.
No, we see it all the time.
And so doing those little activities, threading beads, doing all kinds of different things in early care teaches them and develops that pincer grasp so that they can hold a pencil later.
And some of the stuff we got for Christmas as kids, we never even thought about getting was paint by number. Remember those?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You have this card. Oliver, do you remember paint by number?
Yeah.
There's a card about that big.
Yeah.
And there's just a million little numbers. And let's see, where's all the ones? And you paint all the ones.
Yeah. Fine motor skills.
Had no idea.
See, and that's the point. You had no idea you were learning. It was fun. And that's what we're trying to help incorporate. Teaching this, but making it fun.
Wow.
Kids learn through play.
Yeah.
Interactive play. That's what you got to have.
Yeah. Wow. Amazing. Let's take a quick break and we'll be right back more child care aware after this.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
Hi, I'm Benny with Ammo Dump.
At Ammo Dump, they carry new and used firearms, large supply of shotguns, rifles, and handguns. Ammo Dump will buy, sell, or trade in your item and can special order whatever you like. They also have knives, scopes, ammo of any caliber, and provide gun cleaning and restoration. Call them today for the best competitive pricing around.
If I don't have it or can't get it because I don't make it, come and see us.
That's Ammo Dump, located next to Woodman's Package in Norfolk.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
It's a matter of
Excuse us a minute, we're talking hot rods here. Oh yeah, I remember the day of taking out a 6-cylinder, dropping in a big V8. But yeah, we got done. We were talking cars, of course, which is one of my first loves.
But again, you know, just doing those simple activities with Dad in the garage and working with some hand tools and things like that. That's strengthening those muscles in those hands and your forearms. And when you think about writing a paper, of course now it's more typing, but if you have to do a rough draft of a paper, you need those muscles to be built up, because holding that pencil takes muscle, holding your arm. Yeah. And then if you think about when I don't know about kids now, but when I got in trouble in elementary and middle school, you had to write, "I will not talk." You may have wrote it 50 times.
Keep going.
Man, your arm would be so sore.
150.
Yeah. It would be so sore.
Well, then in junior high, it was dictionary pages.
Yeah.
And the dictionaries were this big,
or
that wide.
Just papers in general, just write a paper, and there was no typing, and oh no, you were handwriting it.
Yeah, you had to
but you need those muscles in your hand and in your forearm to do those skills.
Well, pull this up on the screen, talk about that real quick?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, we got this ready to go. Yeah. And let me see if I can I enlarge that somehow? Yeah, right here. Let me go up just a little, David, so we can bring that up. There we go.
You can access this, parents can access this through their provider, child care provider. You can go to the Better Beginnings website and download it as well.
Really? Okay.
And Better Beginnings is the Arkansas quality rating system within the state.
Now we have social and emotional development, cognitive, physical, language, just on page 1. So we have some very important divisions here. Social and emotional. I mean, that's the big thing right now, you know.
It is.
Yeah. With the
mental health is something that's definitely underserved. And you hear mental health, but you don't think about the 4s and the 5s and your 6-year-olds. They need it too. Right. I mean, you think about some of the behaviors and things that we see in our preschools and in our elementaries. Well, these are kids who may have needed, you know, they may score really high on an ACEs, which is the adverse childhood experiences, and we've talked about that a little bit in the past, I believe. But they may have a really high ACEs score, and if we could get them some mental health to help with that social emotional, you would see a decrease in some of those behaviors. But mental health is so in need.
How much of the mental, let me think how to word this without getting in trouble, the mental stability would be mirrored of the parents and or a single mom or dad in the family? Yes or no?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's mirrored.
If you're in a violent...
Yeah, because that's what they learn.
That's what you know.
Yeah.
And we're seeing so many families are struggling in so many areas now that Arkansas has been ranked anywhere from in the top 3, often number 1, in those adverse childhood experiences. Not something we want to be at the top at all. No. And, you know, you can't learn your mind cannot release and learn if you are in that emotional state of survival or in feeling safe. So child care is number one. Children need to feel safe. Once you feel safe, then you can start to relax, and once you relax, then you are ready to learn. But if you're in a hyper state all the time,
so you're in defense mode.
You cannot learn. When you are in that emotional state, you cannot learn because you are, the adrenaline's going and you just want that fight or flight. That's what you're in. And you can't learn that way. So we've got to address that, and Jessica has the piece on the social emotional and the cognitive to look at those and how we can decrease that. And when you can make that child feel loved and safe, then you're going to see the behavior problems dissipate too, and brings it all down. Arkansas even has an infant toddler mental health piece association, actually, because you start seeing it, and we do screenings through ages and stages questionnaires where we are even looking at behaviors of infants, and are they already exhibiting stress symptoms and so forth.
I've got a question. I'm a Cardinal baseball fan, but I never watch the games. I tune in on radio. KTLO AM brings the games every time. And I listen on radio. Now, the announcers paint that picture. Remember, before TV, you had radio shows, and so they had sound effects and they had all the stuff on radio. Are we missing out on our thinking skills on what's going on? Because, like, okay, last night, or night before, Harrison Bader just stuck the bat out and the ball hit the bat, but it stayed in fair territory, and he beat it out to first base. And the guys are just going crazy. And then I want to see the replay. But in my mind's eye, I'm imagining this runner going to first base, and the ball is being fumbled around 8 or 9 feet from first base.
So
is that something we're missing out on, being able to envision what's going on by listening?
That's pulling in your imagination for sure. And that's part of what I get into with the language and emergent literacy is.
And that's what triggered it when I saw that emergent literacy.
Is listening to those stories. But not only that, kids process pictures 60,000 times faster than words. Okay? So, yes, they're missing out, but at the same time, they can't process it. They can't process it fast enough.
Right.
So, what one of my activities is to read this complete nonsense story, and then I'm asking adults, okay, now tell me what just happened. But it makes no sense. It's a nonsense story. You're not going to remember it. That's the point. But then if I hand you pictures that go along with that nonsense story, you're more likely to be able to at least put those pictures in order and tell me something, right? It's because you've got a visual to go with what you just heard. Our kids are the same way. They simply cannot process just spoken words. Their brains aren't ready. Eventually, yes, they do get there.
What age do you start looking? 10, 11, 12, 13?
Oh, I wouldn't even go that old. I'd say probably if you're working with them and you're doing these you're exercising that skill, probably by 7, 8, 9.
Oh yeah.
Definitely not too old, but you've got to work at it. And if it's a child who's never done that and never had to picture these stories in their mind, then it may be quite a bit older because it's just not a skill they've practiced.
And if you think about infant toddler books, you have the books, you have very few words, but you have a lot of pictures.
A lot of pictures, that's right. That's something. We've got about a minute and a half. Rats, that's about too fast.
Anyway, we just would like any child care within listening to just take advantage of the opportunities you have for the professional development that's out there. Arkansas is one of the few states that actually offer free professional development for all early learning
Take advantage of it, folks.
Absolutely. Contact there's 5 child care wares around the state. The entire state is served. Reach out to them. We all offer professional development, technical assistance, because economically we know that to have a viable community, you got to have child care.
Oh, yeah.
So it's an economic issue as well as, preparing our children for kindergarten.
Anyway, sorry we're out of time. Me and Jessica's going to go put 2 4 barrels on a big V8 engine, make a hot rod real quick before lunchtime.
And I'm going to watch.
We'll see y'all tomorrow.